Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first time that you are joining me. Because October was my birthday month, I did end up with a few new decks in my collection that I've decided to do walkthroughs for. So this is the next one on my list, the Bonefire Tarot. This isn't a new deck, there are 1,000,001 walkthroughs of this deck out there on YouTube land for you to have a look at. But I thought I would share anyway, so hopefully you'll enjoy hearing my thoughts about this deck. It's one that was on my wish list. A friend of mine who has no interest in tarot whatsoever purchased it off my wish list because he thought it was the most interesting looking deck of all the decks on my wish list. And honestly, I'm not sure that it's one I would have got round anytime soon to buying for myself. But I'm actually really glad I've got it in my collection now. I really love it, and I know that I also know, should I say, that it's one of those decks that's a bit hit and miss. Some people love it, some people think it's too busy, but for me, just having looked through the images, not having worked with it yet, I think it's a deck that I'm going to really enjoy working with. So it comes in this lovely massive box which looks like a wicker basket. In my head, it looks like a wicker basket. I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to look like. And it's by Gabby Angus West. I didn't know that this was a tattoo-based deck until I got the box and I read on the back that it was inspired by Sailor Jerry Collins, the tattoo flash of Sailor Jerry Collins. But I do know that every time I looked at pictures from this deck, it immediately made me think of tattoos. So I wasn't surprised when I found that that was the case. It's by Schiffer. I think this might be the only deck I own by Schiffer. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to check that out to be certain. And on the back it says, take an exciting trip through an extravaganza of 78 vivid and expertly hand-painted tarot cards inspired by the vintage old-school tattoo flash of Sailor Jerry Collins. Influenced by Rider-Waite, this deck and guidebook are styled for the serious life explorer, identifying important symbols and key thoughts visually so you may intuitively read the cards and demystify your own journey. Fully equipped to tackle anything, the microcosmic to the macro-enormous, the majors feature archetypal figures sure to play roles in our lives as aspects of ourselves or situations we are bound to encounter. The minor suits have their own look and set of common symbols and are concerned with life's little details. Along with a comprehensive glossary of symbols and their meanings, 3 simple spreads and descriptive essays to guide you, this set offers eternal truths via the timeless medium of tarot. So the box is really chunky. I'm not sure where I'm going to store it, but actually I'm in two minds about the box. I want to keep them in the box because I love the magnetic opening. I love the bonfire symbol. I just love that anyway. It's the perfect size for the book. My only one thing that I don't love about the box, and I just don't like this style of box, is that it comes in such a way that the cards are divided into 2 like this. But it's not a major issue. It's just something that personally I'm not overly keen on, especially as it makes them a nightmare to get out. And I'm going to have to separate them when I want to put them back in. So I'm going to put that out of the way because it's really big. The guidebook is really substantial. She's not kidding. It's really substantial. It's, I don't think it's numbered. Oh, it is numbered. So it's nearly 200 pages long. It's got all these like coloured thumbnails, which I like. I like them when they're in colour. It's a really good list of contents. So you've got a preface, I don't know how you say that, preface. And then part 1 is the major arcana, part 2 is the minor arcana, and then part 3 you've got reading tarot, spreads, cherry flavoured truth bombs, a glossary of symbols, further reading, and then part 4 is the thank yous and credits. I haven't really had a chance to read through any of this yet. I think this is one of those guidebooks, which I don't normally do, but I was watching a video by Maha over at Maha's Treasure Box, and she was talking about guidebooks that she really loves. And if I remember, I will try and link that in the description box below, because it was a really interesting video and it really got me thinking about the fact that I don't take advantage enough of the guidebooks, especially when they're big chunky ones like this. I tend to just work with the cards themselves and try and build my relationship with the cards without really being influenced too much by the creator. But actually, I think I might be missing an opportunity there by not doing that. So I think I'm really going to sit, and in the month that I choose to work with this deck, whenever that will be, I think in that month I'm also going to read the guidebook and actually read it properly. So the major arcana, each one, interestingly, just flicking through, they have like a little description of the card, and then they have like an essay. She's written an essay about the card, and then you have some symbols. I know that's really, really difficult to see. So you have the symbols here that can be found in each of the cards, and she does that for every card. The majors and the minors are just as detailed. The only thing she does additionally in the minors, if you can see, is that she has a section on the actual suit before she goes into the cards. And they all have like the suit that represents, so the cups, she's put the suit that represents water, the spring, the playing card suit of hearts, the emotional content of a situation, passion and motivation, the element of continuity, flow and intuition. So she tells you a little bit about the suit, and then specifically about the Bonefire suit, which is what these little essays are. It's really, really, really detailed. Exceptionally detailed. I'm really impressed with this guidebook, really impressed. I think this and the book that I got for Baba Studios' Alice Tarot are probably the two guidebooks that I've been the most impressed with so far. So yeah, she has a little bit of about reading the tarot, so she gives you some spreads. And I don't know what this cherry flavoured truth bomb actually is, because I haven't read it yet, but I'll be interested to see what that's all about. And then she's got this glossary of Bonefire symbols, so you can look them up. So you can, for example, if the card has, because these cards have a lot going on, I will say that before we look at them, but if you have like, even to the point where she's got that if something, you know, if the eyes are open, it means watchful and aware. If the eyes are closed, ignorance, intuition, and looking within. Green eyes, envy, vigilance, distrust, and jealousy. So she's really, really gone into some serious detail about pretty much everything that she's chosen to include within each card, which is just incredible. I think it's absolutely incredible. If you can't tell yet, I am absolutely blown away by this guidebook. Absolutely blown away. I think it's going to be one that I'm really, really going to enjoy reading. I mean, we're, what, 8 minutes into this video, and all I've done so far is gush about the guidebook. That just goes to show how much I really love this guidebook. So anyway, enough of the guidebook gushing. Let's have a look at what we're actually here for, right? Let's have a look at the cards. We're going to zoom in a little bit now so that we can have a better look at the cards. Sorry if I made anybody feel a bit woozy. So these are the backs. They are black and white backs, which I like, actually. I don't know if I've seen any black and white backs before. And they contrast so well with the fronts, which are so colourful. And again, it's just this Bonefire symbol. The cards are very, very glossy. They are very glossy, very slippy, very sturdy though. They are very, I mean, they're quite plasticky. I don't know another word. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know if that's the technical term that tarot aficionados would use. But the cards are, can you hear that? They're very plasticky, and they're a really unusual size. So, I don't know, just because this is the one that I've got hanging around. This is the Halloween Tarot, which is a pretty normal standard size tarot card. And then you can see that the Bonefire Tarot is about the same length, but obviously much wider. So they're more square, maybe. They're not quite square. They are, yeah, they're not square at all. Yeah. Moving on from that stupid moment, they are quite clearly rectangles, but anyway, let's just go into the cards, because that's what you care about, right? You don't care about all my waffling. So one of the things that I heard people complaining about with this, not complaining about, but it was just, complaining is not the right word, because we all have our own things that we like and we dislike about, you know, decks and art and all that kind of stuff, right? It's just, it's subjective, and it isn't, highlighting things that you don't like isn't necessarily a complaint. That was, but one of the things that I hear people, I can't think of another word, discussing, or one of the things that they highlight that they're not so keen on, is the fact that on every card you have the name of the card in the border and also in the card. Now I have to admit that I didn't really notice that. It certainly wasn't something that I immediately picked up on until I heard other people talking about it, and it certainly isn't something that has any effect on how I feel about these cards at all. What it does mean, though, interestingly for me, is if I do decide that I want to get rid of these borders, which I'm actually not sure whether I do or not, I think these images would pop so hard if you took the black borders away, but I'm not sure whether I'm brave enough to do that, especially with this kind of cardstock. But it does mean that if you wanted to take away those borders, the names of each of the cards would still be there, and it wouldn't make any difference in that respect whatsoever. So there's that. So they are very tattoo style. Like I say, when I first saw these cards, I was like, wow, they look like tattoos, which appeals to me. I am a tattoo fan. I have some of my own. I certainly want more. I love seeing tattoos on other people. So that style of really works for me. They are very busy, and there's just so much to pick out. So the Fool, I don't know how well you can see. So you've still got the dog. You've still got the mountains. You've still got, like, I think that's supposed to be a river. I'm not sure. You've still got her standing on the cliff. She's still got her backpack behind her here. So you've still got all the same imagery that you would have in a Rider-Waite-Smith card, but you just have some extra things. You've still got the white rose here, look. It's just that the way they're depicted aren't necessarily the same. I love them. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely freaking love these cards. I love them. I cannot wait to read with this deck. So somebody who's worked with this deck, tell me where the swords are in the Magician, because I'm struggling. So I can see the wand here, and I can see the cup and the pentacle. So what I'm trying to understand is, and I might be wrong, and it might be in the book and I could probably just read it, but is this light bulb supposed to represent the suit of swords for, like, ideas and that kind of thing? Because that's what I get, but I'm not sure if that's the intention. Excuse me. So again, we still have a lot of the traditional symbols. We still have, like, the pomegranates, we still have the Torah, we still have the B and the J pillars, we still have the crescent moon and the triple goddess symbol. It's just a very unique way of showing the art. And then we have the cube, which is something that will be in the book, so you can look it up in the book and see what the symbolism of the cube is. This is gonna be a long one, guys, because I am just obsessed with this deck. I am obsessed. And then some of them, not all of them, so I don't think... Oh, no, she does. I'm sorry. I don't... Do they all? Okay, I can't really see them in that one, but you've got the Cancer symbol here. And then the High Priestess, you've got the symbol of the Taurus here. I'm not completely up on my symbols, like astrological symbols, so I might get some wrong, so I'm not going to mention them too much. I love you got this little baby down here, and the sunset or sunrise, I suppose, depends on how you look at it. You got the corn. I love the world with the equal arm cross. I love this deck. There's just so much going on. I think this is a deck that I am actually going to really, really spend time with. So you've got the all-seeing eye up here. And you've got, I don't know what this is. Again, I would have to look this up in the book. But this is a chakra symbol. And I believe it's the throat chakra. I'm not so up on my symbols. I'm going off the colour more than anything. And again, you've got the symbol of Taurus there. You've got the crossed keys still. You've got this mouth with all the lights coming off it. As I say, this is definitely a deck that I am going to have to dedicate some serious time to really, really going through every card, looking at every symbol, really doing the work with, and I'm so excited about that. I love the two dogs, the two bulldogs. I'm going to try and shut the hell up and just let you look at the cards for a bit now. There's a wolf down here, look. And these are alchemical symbols, I believe. But again, I'm not really up on my alchemy, so... I just love how, yes, they're very, very busy. They are very, very busy cards. But every single thing that you see in each card is there for a damn good reason. Clearly a lot of thought has gone into every single card. I love that. I didn't do a very good job of shutting the hell up though, did I? And the numbers are always really subtle as well. Like, they're all in there, but they're not all, like, in your face. So some of them are just, like, in the title itself. And then some of them are hidden within one of the other symbols. I've been through this deck so many times before I even filmed this walkthrough because I kept having to get it out and look at it, and then I would put it away and then I would get it out and I would look at it again and then I'd just have one more look. Like, I've had this since my birthday. My birthday was the 5th of the month. So I've been through this deck so many times since I got it, and the more I look at it, the more I love it, and I just cannot wait to work with it. I'll try and speed the hell up. So all of the ones have these, seem to have like these acorns in them instead of wands, which is interesting. They're really slidey. They're really, really slidey cards. Look at that Queen of Wands though, right? Like, holy Jesus, come on. These are just, oh, I'm in love. Okay, so we all know how particular I am about my suit of swords. It is my suit. It's the one that matters the most to me in terms of the minor cards. Two of Swords, very important. Love that card. Three of Swords, really important. Love that card. Love, look at the, oh, it just, oh. I love this Four of Swords. This is possibly one of my favourite Four of Swords. Like, nothing says relaxing and resting more than a bubble bath. That's really, really, really tattoo-esque, isn't it? Eight of Swords, perfect. It's exactly what I want from my Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a bit creepy. So not only have you got like that feeling of worry and you know, anxiousness and not being able to sleep, but you've got this like really weird, she's doing this really weird thing with her eyes that are making them really dark and hidden, and yeah. Look at the vultures in the Ten of Swords. I am going to talk about every card. I am going to say something about every card. I can't help it. I love this Queen of Swords. I do love this Queen of Swords. When I first saw it, I was a bit like, oh, I genuinely don't know how I feel about that. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I freaking love this Queen of Swords. So powerful. So, so powerful. I've actually been to the art gallery, the modern art gallery. No, I can't remember which art gallery it is. It's one of the ones in London. I went with the school, and there's a period where they did these kind of paintings where you had like all the things on the table, like a skull and an apple and all that kind of stuff. And this is really reminiscent of that. And they're some of my favourite pieces of art. And so I just love this card. I'm just really drawn to that card. There's one particular painting that really reminds me of, and I'm not really good with art, so I can't remember who it's by or what it's called, but that's what it evokes for me. I really like it. That's really dreamy. Like, that Knight of Cups is really dreamy. Not as in cute, like the way some people might use the word dreamy, but just as in it evokes that dreamy feel. Nearly done. Nearly done. We're at the coins. amazing. Just amazing. I love how deliberate these cards are. I know I've said that already, but just how every single thing depicted in every single card is so relevant. I love it. Look at the tortoise. Slow and steady. Oh dear, it's coming apart there. So there you go. As you can probably tell from my gushing throughout the video, this is a deck that as I say, I never thought it would be one that I would rush out and actually add to my collection myself. But I am so happy to own this deck because I freaking love it. I love the, you know, the contrast between the really colourful fronts and the black and white backs. I love how deliberate every card is. I love the tattoo style. I freaking love it. My only con is the cardstock, but I can live with that because I love this deck. I love it, and I am so excited to actually get a chance to work with it. So let me know in the comments, do you have this deck? Do you love it? Do you hate it? How did you get on working with it? If you do have it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care everyone and lots of love. Bye bye.